Hey coin collectors, Dan the Collecting Man here. Is this the best 10 ounce bar that's ever made? I want to go through why I think this could be potentially one of the best 10 ounce silver bars ever made. An absolute stunner of a design of a bar, looking at the details, and I think it has a really strong collectability around it, given the mintage and the series and how collectible the series has been. So obviously this is the Queen's Beast Completer bar from the Royal Mint in the UK. So it's part of the Queen's Beast series that finished in around 2023 with the Completer. And they've made a few changes and amendments to this and put it into a square bar, which I think is kind of unique and something a little bit different. We're used to seeing bars in this kind of shape. So have something square, like almost a coaster size, is something a little bit kind of different, but it kind of still gives that coin kind of look about it with all some of the other details with Queen Elizabeth that ties it in nicely. So this has a mintage of only 6,000, which is a very low mintage, and it's pretty much sold out all around the world. So you can only find this out on the secondary market, which is something quite unique for a bar. Sometimes you see coins get sold out pretty quickly, but bars is something that you don't often see get sold out as quick as that. So for me, that just shows that there is definitely going to be a bit of an appetite to try and get this bar in the future. It retailed around, in Australian dollars, around $600, and you're already looking within a month past around $800 plus. So that is pretty good. So looking at some of the top kind of bars that are sold on eBay, that's getting pretty close to being one of the top bars already, and it's still pretty new. So very soon, when there's going to be less and less on the secondary market, I feel like this will go up in a lot more value, which will definitely adds to its collectability. So first we got obviously the 10 Queen's Beast, which is at Westminster Abbey. So obviously where the Queen got coronated, she would have walked past all these beasts. So we'll go through some of the key ones. So obviously we've got the Lion of England, the Greyhound of Richmond. There's the Horse of Hanover. I think this one is the Lion of Hanover as well. We've got this one, I'm pretty sure, is the Jarl of Burford. This one is the last one's there's the Falcon. Then we've got the Bull of Clarence. This one here looks to be the Griffin of Edward. Then we've got the Dragon of Wales, and to finish it off there. So a nice little tie-in with all the different animals that we covered off within the series. I think it's pretty cool. Oh, I forgot the Unicorn of Scotland. So a nice little tie-in with all the different animals there, which is really cool. So I love seeing all of that and having the 10 different animals. So obviously we've seen a different effigy within this one as well, compared to the Queen effigy that was in the Queen's Beast Completer. So there's a little bit of different effigy. So this is the first effigy of Queen Elizabeth from Mary Gillen, and this was first seen on the Queen effigy in 1953. So as we can see here, that's the first effigy of Queen Elizabeth, and there you can see that effigy comes up. So it looks really nice. So this is an old crown that I've got here, and as you can see, those special flowers. So that's where those flowers tie in. So it actually ties into the very first crown here, which is this one here. This is the crown from 1953, and as you can see here, the different arrangements of flowers just there. So obviously they're the different nations within Great Britain, and you can see how they've tied that in really, really nicely. Obviously the difference with this one here is it hasn't got the year date on either side of it, which would have been pretty cool to see that. So this is obviously when Queen Elizabeth got coronated. So I love this little tie-in, how they've got the Queen Elizabeth's special flowers from each nation within Great Britain, and then we've got a tie-in with her first effigy as well. So that, I think, really ties in this nice Queen's Beast, which is something amazing. So obviously this is the original one here that had the Queen's effigy on it. This was a coin. This is a 2 ounce coin, £5 coin with Queen Elizabeth. But I also love the other side. So the way they've done this kind of almost chainmail kind of look with a Royal Mint on there, 10 ounce 4/9 fine silver, I think is really, really cool. And the way they've actually done the the reeded edges around the edge there. I think that's going to make this really, really nice. The only disappointment for me is the fact that it's in this vinyl packaging. With 6000 vintage, I would have thought they could have put them all in a nice capsule like this one here. So this is the capsule that came out with the king when he became king here. This is a special 10-ounce bar that came out there, and as you can see there, it hasn't got the nice edging on it, so you're going to get those scratch marks from when it was produced. So this one also has the flowers on there and the different symbols for the different nations within Great Britain, and also the crown there with the crown cipher on this side. So this one still isn't as collectible. Not as many people care about the King's bar, but I think this one here is really cool. You can definitely, for me, I love it. So I thought I'd compare it to what is some of the other more collectible ones that we've seen in the past as well. So I've got some other bars. These ones here, the Scottsdale Mints, these are pretty easy to get, but I do love these ones here. And they're just how many different size bars you can get. This one was personally made for me by Backyard Bullion. As you can see here, this is a 10-ounce bar. We're down the Collecting Man on here, so 10-ounce 3/9 fine silver. And I've also got some other little bars here. But let's go through some of the key collectible ones that I've seen in the past. So the PAMP Lady Fortuna one, you see that one that goes for around the $900 odd. So that one seems to be quite collectible. A lot of people want to get that PAMP 10-ounce Lady Fortuna. The next two are from the Great Engravers series. So you've got Una and the Lion. That's a really nice one. And the Three Graces. Those two, you're looking at around $970 to $900 for those two. So I've noticed those two are definitely have a pretty good return. The next 10-ounce bar is the Star Wars Mandalorian Beskar bar. So it's very similar to this one here, but obviously in the 10-ounce, and you're looking around $930. And the next one that's just over $1,000 is SS Garasopa. I'm not sure if that's how it's pronounced, but that's another 10-ounce bar that you're looking at around just over the $10,000 for that one. So that seems to be quite collectible. The one that surprised me the most, and I'm not sure if it's people are overpaying for this one personally, I don't think it's going to be as collectible, is the Trump Train Square. So it's the only other square one that's similar to this one, where it's got a bit of a picture of Trump on the train. That one I've seen sales for over $2,000. So I think that's some pretty keen Trump fans overpaying for a bit of silver personally on that one. So I don't think that one's going to be as collectible in the long term, where I think this one is going to be pretty unique. So definitely I think this one, out of all the bars I've ever seen, the 10-ounce bars, I think this one definitely takes the cake from a collector's standpoint, unless it's one of the older bars. You see some old collectible bars like this. I've got this really cool book that's got all this different Australian bars in there, and nuggets and ingots, different hand poured ones. This one's pretty cool, and it goes through some of the older bars, and some of these are worth an absolute fortune just because of their age and heritage of it. So these are all ones that are made in Australia, some really old cool ones here. So it's pretty cool to see these ones here and some of the values that they can obtain with the old bars and some of the old gold ingots. So this one's definitely a cool book to get. But for me, I'm not really personally collecting some of the older stuff. I'm more interested into the more modern day kind of stuff. And I think, like I said, this one for me, I reckon we'll see it well over the $1,000 in the future. Once we see less and less on the secondary market, I think this one will shoot up in value. I'd love to know in the feedback below what you personally think, if this one's going to be one of those collectible ones. And I really love to see on the market some capsules for this. It'll be good if someone can finally put some capsules on the market for this as well, because I definitely think people will be interested in getting a capsule for this so they can keep it looking after. But just look at the detail on that one. It's absolutely beautiful. It's definitely, I'm surprised it hasn't got any milk spots in it yet, coming from the Royal Mint, but I would have hoped they would have put a bit of effort into this. But 6,000 vintage is pretty cool. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Make sure you do give us a thumbs up, and make sure you do subscribe to Dan the Collecting Man to stay up to date and see all the cool fun videos of coin collecting. And there is a link down below for a shout out for a coffee if you want to do a little shout out to support the channel for the work that I do. And as always, thanks so much for watching and joining the coin collecting community. I'll catch you in my next video. Dan.